Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Conscious Business Coffee Break, where we take a few moments to explore what's happening in the conscious business movement, expand awareness, and encourage your efforts in conscious business. I'm Stephen Donaco of the Conscious Business Enterprise, which is a division of Humanities Team. So in today's episode, wanted to talk about a few things that I put in the description for the video. And one of them is an opinion piece that appeared in The Guardian, written by a guy by the name of Ian Dunlop. And it's called, "If Business Leaders Want to Regain Our Trust, They Must Act on Climate Risk." And if you go to the link to the article, you can read the whole thing there. And I was really struck by the fact that Ian Dunlop was formerly an oil and gas executive, and his work now is devoted to helping to increase the knowledge of the risks of climate change and evangelizing for that industry and all business to really do something about it. And he talks about how in the current context of trust in business, that it's much more than building better products or being more transparent or providing better leadership in companies. It really goes to a expanded responsibility to recognize that business is indeed a force for either good or bad on the planet, and really taking ownership proactively of a business being a force for good, and stepping up and taking the proactive actions to address things like climate change. And he said it's the great black elephant of business and politics, a noble fact that nobody wants to acknowledge, right? So every business keeps doing its business, and it keeps innovating its products, it keeps innovating its services, but is it really proactively doing the best on behalf of humanity? And really, when it comes down to it, regardless of how severe you think climate change is impacting the planet, there's certainly enough science and enough proof in just our experience of the weather around the globe that we know something's happening, and we know it's happening faster than it ever has happened in human history. So if business has contributed to the issue through pollution and extraction of resources, and for the sake of innovation, let's say, right? So if businesses have been innovative, in creating products and services in the past, can business be equally, if not more so, innovative in ensuring that there is a planet on which we can continue to do business and continue to live? So Ian Dunlop's opinion piece in The Guardian talks about all of this, and I think it's a really articulate account of what really needs to be done, and what business leaders need to do, and what they need to look at, and how they need to think differently and expand their conscious awareness, and really get heads out of the sand, quite frankly. So Lance Secretan, who is one of our faculty members in the Conscious Business Enterprise program, which is also linked to in the description to the video, talks about how leadership is a concept that really we have to expand. We have to expand our consciousness beyond. So leadership doesn't really work anymore, and it's not that the idea of leadership is important, but that the way people experience leadership is changing. And it's not that people want to be led or want good leadership, but what they want is to be inspired, right? So this really speaks to this article that Ian Dunlop has written, I feel, in that it's beyond companies being good leaders and CEOs and managers and boards of directors being good leaders, but it's about them actually providing an inspirational environment through their business so that it causes them to step up and it causes other people to step up and show up to do what we need to do to understand that in the spirit of oneness, we are all interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent, and therefore we will commit to taking the steps to ensure that we have a planet, and if you want to call it a platform, call it a platform, but really it's a planet on which we can continue to do business. So really a powerful piece by Ian Dunlop in The Guardian, which I've linked to in the description to this video. So I invite you to take a look at that and share it as well. I think it's really important and a well-written piece. It's probably one of the best written pieces that I've come across from an executive or somebody who's worked in the industry in quite some time. We need more of that. And I'll read you the last paragraph because this really sums the whole thing up for me. Because if business genuinely wishes to regain trust, it must proactively face up to the challenge posed by climate change and initiate emergency action. Beyond that, it must open up honest debate on a new economic model to replace conventional growth. It is the only way business will be sustainable in the 21st century with a real social license to operate. And I would add to that, it's not just about being sustainable, but as Chris Laszlo, another one of our faculty members in the Conscious Business Enterprise would put it, it's about flourishing. So it's one thing to be sustainable. It's another thing altogether to flourish. And flourish doesn't mean growth for growth's sake. It means human fulfillment. It means coming together in community to support the ongoing evolution of humanity and the planet. So with that, let me mention to you again, as I did in our first episode, the Conscious Business Declaration, also linked to in the description to this video. 7 principles around what it means to be a conscious business professional, a conscious business person, and a conscious business. And as always, invite you to go take a look at the Conscious Business Declaration. Read the principles and really sit with them for a while. If you haven't signed it, you can sign the declaration right there online and basically commit to practicing those 7 principles in your own professional life and in your own businesses. And then finally, I will mention the Conscious Business Enterprise training and certification course. So that's something that we provide through Humanities Team. If you are interested in expanding your practice of conscious business skills, by all means, consider joining us for the course. There are pre-recorded and live elements to it. There's a project that you can propose and create in order to get your certification, and then you can take that work in a very practical way out into the world. So with that, I close by thanking Fluid Coffee Bar here in Valparaiso, Indiana for providing the venue for the Conscious Business Coffee Break, and invite you to join me on Friday. We're meeting Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Central Time, U.S., for the Conscious Business Coffee Break here on Facebook Live on the Humanities Team Facebook page. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.